In 2026, a major new coaster is set to debut at Six Flags Over Texas.
And trust, it'll be crazy.
What's even crazier though, is the coaster is about to go vertical, and the park itself has tons of new updates as well. I'm talking new construction, new shows, and even preparation for Fright Fest. So to see it all, keep watching. Not gonna lie, pulling up to Over Texas, things look a little different. And not just because it went from Epic Universe to here. The entry sign is looking a little brighter because it recently got some brand new paint. The new coaster construction site looks very active. And we'll get to that, but most importantly, there's a brand new sign. Batman being closed. For them to have a whole sign up, I'm thinking Batman might be down for a while, which is definitely unfortunate, but on the bright side, they're being transparent about it. Anyways, as we made our way inside, the Mexico section also had some new changes, brand new seats, and hey, in this Texas weather, new shade is absolutely perfect. But while seats are great, we were here for one reason and one reason alone.
What is bro doing, bro?
As you can see, Texas-sized thrills.
Yep, teasing has officially begun for our brand new coaster. And yes, while technically the coaster track being displayed is a teaser, these posters teasing it more is foreshadowing that we're getting very close to the big announcement. I mean, need to remind you that at the point making this video, we're only a few days away from August, the month where Six Flags typically announces new coasters, and I have a feeling it'll be this one.
Also, little fun fact, the color of the Giga, or the dive coaster, is the same color as these walls. Yeah.
Anyways, like I said a million times, a coaster this big coming over Texas is truly amazing, and we're super excited.
We're excited for the Giga!
As for the construction update, we'll get there, but first,
we have a secret mission.
What does that mean, you may ask? Well, we all know summer in Texas can get hot.
It's hot.
And when it's hot, people typically skip over Texas to go to a water park instead. So it got me wondering, is it possible to enjoy over Texas by only riding rides that'll cool you off? And if so, what kind of rides are those? And the challenge is, along with giving you tons of updates of over Texas, any ride we go on today has to strictly be one that'll cool you off. And we have to end with the one that'll cool you off the best. Will it be Roaring Rapids? Will it be Aquaman? Or something completely different? I don't know, but we're starting with Runaway Mountain.
What is the heat rating for Runaway Mountain?
5 out of 10. It's not hot.
Guys, I'm literally under an air conditioning right now, so it's not hot at all.
Honestly, Runaway Mountain is a pretty underrated ride to beat the heat, let alone the ride itself. So definitely a good choice to beat the Texas sun. And honestly, I recommend it. With that said, back to our regularly scheduled updates.
You keep saying you got something for me.
Yep, if you go to the Crazy Horse Saloon, there's now a brand new show by the name of Dueling Pianos. Basically, it's where two highly talented artists play on stage with their pianos and also play your requests. You write down which song and which artist you want to hear, an employee will give it to one of the pianists, and boom, you'll be hearing Counting Stars, I'm Still Standing, and even Wicked. It's honestly a vibe, but don't just take my word for it.
Hi guys, we met some fans of the channel. We're with
Jessica, Mario, Jasmine, and Mario. We're the Martinez family.
And what y'all think of the piano show?
Piano show is actually pretty good. They actually do new school, old school, any requests that you have. It's actually a pretty good show.
Is there anything you want to say real quick?
Follow JB.
Appreciate you guys. And then once again, high fives all around, all around.
It truly makes my day whenever I meet some of y'all at the park. So if y'all ever see me, always feel free to say hi and take a pic. Anyways, here are the show times for Dueling Pianos. And after the show, I met the Looney Tunes all dripped out in Western attire. Anyways, after the show, it was back to the Spain area.
And since we're here, why don't we do a...
Not gonna lie, it's been a minute since an old-fashioned Project Ruby update, but on the bright side, that means tons of new changes we have to check out. Starting off with the most obvious, more track. As you remember, in a previous update, we talked about how the park is using even more space outside to hold more track. Well, fast forward to now, and there's even more track in that backlot. The crazier part is, that's not the only location. Over behind Titan, there's even more track pieces chilling the lot. Now, because I'm not trying to get in trouble with security, I didn't go super close to the track. But zooming in, you can clearly see that one of the pieces is specifically for our dive's lift hill. That specific piece not only has the shape for it, but shows off rollback features, typically found in lift hills. So for my non-enthusiast friends, this is the track you'll see as the ride starts off. Pretty exciting if I might add. Now like I said a bunch of times, this coaster is nothing to look over, and even in the enthusiast community it's pretty under the radar because it's a dive. But as a DFW local and fan of dives, this ride will be lengthy, and by result pretty unique of a coaster. All the track you are currently seeing is just a little taste of more that's eventually going to be shipped over. It's no wonder they want this track so early because there will be a lot to store. I would not be surprised if that grass lot became completely full of track. Now speaking of this ride size, our next update takes us in the construction zone, aka Zone Ruby. The previously known preferred parking is now just a huge dirt mound. They've really tore away from the pavement and are setting the foundation for what will soon be Texas's tallest coaster. It does not stop there, however. In a previous update, we mentioned that the cones could mean potential spot for footers. You know, the little cement bases that hold the structure of the ride, and also foreshadow the layout. Well, we have footers. Not just one, but multiple, and the location confirm huge things about this ride's layout. For one, this footer is currently standing in what used to be a preferred parking spot, meaning this location will no longer be a parking spot when the coaster opens, unless they keep the parking lot in some form, which could mean we will get to park right underneath the ride, which is pretty insane to think about. Along with that, there's more towards the park entrance, and like I said many times before, I believe this ride will completely change the front gate, becoming a new entry coaster and really interact with pathways. As for the final update, I recently got to interview Jeffrey Sieber, the new regional manager for all Texas parks, including over Texas. Him and his team have a major role in this ride, and one notable thing he said in that interview was,
"As you know, we're building a new multi-record breaking roller coaster."
That's right, multi-record breaking, as in lots of records, not just height. I have plenty of theories for a future prediction video, so if you want to see that, subscribe, but I want to hear your theories on what that means in the comments below. The main takeaways from all this new work is, 1. The coaster will very soon go vertical. It was even hinted in an Over Texas construction update. The more footers, the faster we will see this thing go up. 2. The coaster will be pretty long, and I think as we see footers get places, we can start to get more accurate predictions of its layout. Unless they, drop the announcement in the next few weeks, because then we don't need predictions, we have the real announcement. And number 3, they're really fast tracking this ride, so I'm very confident that it will open in 2026. Hopefully. We all gotta pray. But in all seriousness, August is coming up, so if you want to be the first to know whenever Texas drops the new layout officially, as well as its name and theme, subscribe to this channel as we will be your #1 source for this brand new ride and over Texas as a whole. Anyways, it was time for my sister's favorite ride, and the perfect way to cool off, Speedlunker Cave.
Never mind, because we want to do better rides.
Like our favorite,
Superman.
which by the way brought back the Yellow Tower, which has been standing but not operating for a while now. So good to see it return.
I think with the shade, the wind, and also being on a tower 300 feet in the air, that breeze must be nice. So honestly, this is a pretty good ride to do in the Texas heat.
And after a little waiting, we put that theory to the test. And after a pretty refreshing ride, as we headed to our next update, we found some even more fans.
As you can tell, Texas Arena has a brand new color. Why, you may ask? Well, if you've been to Over Texas, the Texas Arena has been infamous for looking abandoned and kind of not taken care of. But the new leadership at Over Texas wants to completely change the whole park, and this means giving it a fresh coat of paint, not to mention some other things.
And by that, I mean Fright Fest. If you're a long time Over Texas visitor, you know the Texas Arena is typically used for Fright Fest, where every year, 2 haunted houses are located there. But this year, with Jeffrey Sieber and his team now involved, that man really loves Fright Fest and wants to make a huge change for Over Texas, claiming it to be the biggest year ever. So yes, Texas Arena was painted black to look nice, but if you go on top of Oil Derrick and look down, you see some major changes, like a brand new facade in front of one of the haunts, rumored to be for Saw. The other one is still unknown, but there's tons of new props that you can see there, which kind of foreshadows that this might be the scariest Fright Fest ever at Over Texas. Jeffrey Sieber is a man of his word.
And now the most important attraction to check out, refill, because we're thirsty.
The Texas heat is no joke, which is why our next attraction had to be El Asadero.
So while the Flume 2 is closed right now, it was seen open earlier in the past few weeks. And it's announced that apparently Flume 2 will be open during this season, and we will see it open despite the construction nearby.
Not to mention, there are new flumes that are supposed to come to the attraction. They just weren't here today, but they will be soon. Plus, the ride was still very refreshing. After that, our next stop is Titan, but instead of going the traditional route, a new pathway has opened up.
So yes, they did pave the railroad, but it doesn't mean it's gone forever. It's just in the meantime because of the Giga construction and how it interferes with everything. But on the bright side, we have a new pathway that makes your walk over to Titan pretty easy. And speaking of Titan, why don't we get to it? Yep, Titan's paint is complete, sort of, missing one train, but it looks completely finished and looks really good. The thing we're looking for though is the merch.
Yes, this is the official new logo of Titan, which honestly, I rock with it. And while the shirt is kind of pricey, I do love how the new merchandise sports the brand new colors, which after seeing it complete is truly a perfect fit for this ride. As the day got later, we were still in search to complete our secret mission, and on the way there, we found two new things. One, a brand new refresh station, and two, a new change with Aquaman.
Yes, as you can see, the splash zone is blocked off. And that's because of a particular video that's circulating online, especially with this ride. Oh! For now, all you can do is either ride the ride or get lucky and maybe the wave's big enough for you to stand over there next to the gate. We'll see. In our search for the ride that'll cool you off the most, we're here at Texas Skyscraper. And you might be saying, Texas Skyscraper, why? Well, Roaring Rapids gets you too soaked. Aquaman, if you don't want to get wet, is not the best. But if you don't want to get wet and you really want to cool off, 400 feet in the air on a swing will definitely do it for you. So, why don't we go do it?
After a full day of riding rides to cool you off, this was the one I was most hyped about. And we were ready to get on, until...
Oh, Skyscraper is closed. Yeah.
Despite it being broken, we were gonna wait it out. It was that serious, especially when you've been walking around in 100-degree weather all day. Before you knew it though,
It's back open.
and finally we were boarding. Being as high as 400 feet in the air on a swing as the wind blows you around definitely gives you time to reminisce. The whole day was full of amazing updates here at Over Texas, and it seems to me that my home park is in good hands, and they're finally receiving the love they needed. With a huge new coaster on the way, tons of new events, and even some minor aesthetic changes around the park. I cannot wait to see what's next, and I'm sure you can either. So with all that said, there's one thing left to say.